Among the officials who greeted the crew and passengers of the Star of the Seas on its inaugural call to St. Kitts and Nevis, 23rd October, were Head of State Dame Marcella Liebert, Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, and Minister of Tourism Marsha Henderson. The inaugural plaque exchange ceremony was held on board Royal Caribbean's newest and largest ship, the Icon-class Star of the Seas, which docked at Port Santa in Basseterre. Brief addresses by the Prime Minister and the Minister of Tourism pointed to the country's commitment to sustainable tourism, a heightened guest experience, and continuing to invest in strong cruise partnerships. Minister of Tourism Marsha Henderson thanked tourism stakeholders for the diligent work to ensure continuing growth in the cruise sector in the Federation. The minister said the port call of Star of the Seas reflects the confidence Royal Caribbean has in the vision, infrastructure, and support of the people. A plaque exchange also took place between local ship agents DeLille Walwyn and Company Limited and the vessel's captain. Royal Caribbean's newest cruise ship, Star of the Seas, is described as family-friendly. Commissioned in August 2025, it is the world's largest cruise ship powered by liquefied natural gas. It contains 20 decks and 8 distinct neighborhoods to manage 7,000 passengers and crew when fully booked. Star of the Seas offers a variety of activities for families, including a dedicated children's neighborhood, water slides, and family-friendly shows. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Lanine Blanchett, has defended the procedures used in the recent confirmation of parliamentary minutes following questions raised by Parliamentary Representative for St. Christopher 7, Dr. Timothy Harris. During the August 17th sitting of Parliament, Dr. Harris suggested that the process breached established rules. In response, Speaker Blanchett stated that the confirmation of minutes on October 6th was conducted in full accordance with the standing orders and parliamentary practice.
It must be stated for the record that upon taking up my parliamentary duties, I was made aware that the Office of the Clerk did not have in place a Hansard system to enable the office to prepare minutes in accordance with Standing Order 11.1, which provides that the clerk shall keep the minutes of the proceedings of the National Assembly and of committees of the whole Assembly, which shall record the names of members attending, all decisions taken, and details of every division held. Additionally, there was no alternative mechanism within that office for the recording or preparing of minutes. Recognizing the importance of accuracy and transparency in parliamentary record keeping, my office took deliberate steps to remedy this gap by securing the services of a professional stenographer to assist the clerk's office in preparing the official minutes. Since the installation of a stenographer, upon completion, each set of minutes has been meticulously reviewed by my office. For minutes confirmed on 6th October 2025, they were circulated by my Office of the Clerk electronically to all members of Parliament on the 11th of July 2025, 3 months in advance of the 6th October 2025 sitting, inviting proposed amendments. Members of the Parliament were afforded a further opportunity to indicate any corrections during the sitting of 6th October 2025. To be clear, while it is being wrongly suggested that there was a breach of the rules of Parliament, I am confirming that no standing orders were breached and the minutes were confirmed with no opposing vote.
The Speaker outlined steps taken to professionalize and modernize the institution, including the refurbishment of offices, creation of dedicated workspaces for staff, and collaboration with Parl Americas to digitize parliamentary operations. Additional reforms include the introduction of sign language interpreters during sit-ins and the removal of single-use plastics from parliamentary precincts.
My first day at the office revealed that the Speaker's office itself was being utilized as a storeroom for the Office of the Attorney General. There was no computer. However, one was later provided through the kind assistance of the Office of the Prime Minister. There was no internet access either. The premises contained old, broken furniture, which had to be replaced. It was pellucid that Parliament had not been treated as a national priority. In addition, the Speaker's office had to be completely reconfigured for practical and official use. The space was reorganized to reflect the dignity and functionality required for the administration of parliamentary affairs. Importantly, the office of the clerk had no previously designated working space, as the clerk operated primarily from the clerk's table in this parliament, rather than from a dedicated office space. As a result, several official records were not properly kept or preserved. For example, there are no confirmed minutes of Parliament on file at the Parliament's precincts for any sittings whatsoever prior to this administration taking place on August 14th, 2022.
Blanchard said that these measures are aimed at ensuring that the legislative process in St. Kitts and Nevis operates with transparency, consistency, and respect for established procedures. I'm Andre Huey reporting for SKN Newsline.
So sweet! The people of St. Kitts and Nevis have embraced Susan Best and her ministry from the very beginning. Now, 40 years later, she returns to celebrate resilience, a testimony of grace, a legacy of strength. Join Susan Best for a night of worship featuring the timeless songs you've loved through the years, along with new music that will inspire a fresh move of faith. On Friday, November 28th at 7 p.m. at the Antioch Baptist Church, Lime Kiln Commercial Development. Don't miss this unforgettable celebration of grace, growth, and resilience. Tickets are $40 EC. Also, be blessed by performances by Carmela Lawrence, Gospel Flames of Joy, New Generation of Nevis, and Blestina Charles of St. Kitts. Tickets are now on sale at Bestway, Buckley's close to Caribbean Cinema, First Choice in the Amory Mall, Kingdom Travel and Tours, Central Street, Hidden Treasures, Airport Road close to Kumar's Pink Trailer, Pharmacare on 4th Street, and in Nevis at Divinity Touch Gift Shop, Main Street, Charlestown. Get your tickets early and stay tuned to the radio or Susan Best's social media pages. Be blessed in this unforgettable celebration of grace, growth, and resilience.
Everybody
Your favorite TV shows are just a click away with TVC Plus at tvcplus.live. Stream our 24-hour live programming. Catch the latest episodes of TVC Originals on demand. Enjoy premium pay-per-view content and so much more. Watch on any device, TV, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Visit www.tvcplus.live. Stream, watch, enjoy.
The SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
Good day to the beautiful people of St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Martin News Desk now airs on
Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays on TVC
at 11 a.m. and then again at 5 p.m. So
make sure to tune in.
It's entertainment TV at its finest. Join us for Main Event, the Caribbean's leading entertainment show only on Television Caribbean TVC. Tune in as our host chats with top artists and entertainers, bring you the latest buzz in entertainment, and showcase the hottest music videos from the region's biggest stars. Main Event airs on Thursdays at 8 p.m. with rebroadcast on Fridays at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. When it comes to entertainment, it's always the Main Event on TVC.
Dr. Patricia Bartlett, a candidate of the Nevis Reformation Party, NRP, said the NRP has done as much as it could at a time to raise the alert over the proposed development on the southern side of Nevis under the recently passed Special Sustainability Zone Authorization Act. Speaking on Issues SKN, hosted by Junior Liebert of Freedom FM 106.5, Dr. Bartlett said the concerns surrounding establishing the so-called sustainability zones in the Federation has to be of concern to all citizens and residents.
This is something that all of us ought to be engaged on. And so we are hoping that the politicians would have done as much as they can up to this point. We should be able to pass on the baton now to the legal fraternity. Let them now challenge the legality of what has been laid out in terms of supporting the advancement of this SSZ in Nevis. And the thing is, SSZ might start in Nevis, but I can assure Kittians that SSZ is not going to be limited to Nevis. I do understand right now the push is on Nevis. The sooner that they can get us to accept, establish, and start settling CBI, because we are talking about 10,000, potentially 10,000 CBI passports to be sold in a short period of time. I know we had issues as it relates to the 20,000 or 20+ that was sold in relation to, associated with the jail project in St. Kitts. And so I don't know how the rationale is going to apply here. How do you rationalize the 10,000 in Nevis for the SSC? Because until now, we still don't know yet what the economic activity is in Nevis that is supposed to provide this boom in the south of Nevis, because 2 hotels or 3 hotels, and we're not even hearing a commitment from the developers as it relates to that. We've only been hearing the politicians say this, but we don't know how that could produce the kind of profits that we are hearing about. Those sounds like just numbers that are just pulled out of the air just to placate us. But at the end of the day, and I go back to the central point, NRP would have done as much as NRP could have done up to this point. Going forward, this requires, I think, a legal challenge, which we are not prepared for, because we are not. That is not the field. None of us are lawyers in NRP, and so we are hoping now that the lawyers will recognize that they have a part to play in this community. It's a community effort. If it is that we are going to, at the end of the day, defend our sovereignty, all of us are going to have to play our part.
Following the passage of the SSZ legislation, the NIA embarked upon a series of town hall meetings, and recently the federal government joined the process when Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew hosted a town hall event on the SSZs. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline. Given the experience citizens and residents have had with the administration of the Citizenship by Investment Program, some persons have expressed concern that the special sustainable zones could work against the interests of the country. Azad Gums, deputy political leader of the People's Action Movement, spoke to this matter in a recent town hall meeting hosted by Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew. Referring in one instance to the recently passed Special Sustainability Zones Authorization Act, Mr. Gums drew attention to wording in regard to the section on an independent oversight body.
The law should mandate oversight committees in all cases, with clear timelines, powers, and reporting duties. Accountability should not be optional, and public protection should not depend on who happens to be in office. Replacing may with shall will not only remove flexibility, it would remove excuses. It would guarantee that oversight remains a permanent feature of our system, not a political choice. May I suggest to you, Attorney General, that the legislation be framed and drafted to say something like this: the Prime Minister or Premier shall establish an independent oversight committee which shall operate independently of the executive and report directly to the National Assembly. The committee shall have authority to investigate, audit, and report on all matters relating to the operations of the special sustainability zones and shall publish its findings for public review.
But Prime Minister Drew chided the representatives of the People's Action Movement, accusing them of grandstanding in the town hall event and pointing to the absence of input from the PAM elected representative during the National Assembly debate on the SSC legislation. Nevertheless, Attorney General Garth Wilkin addressed the matter raised by Mr. Gumbs.
I always respect opinions of counsel, and I echo what the Prime Minister said, because the representative of PAM has made recommendations on bills before, and we have took them on. I can't remember exactly what I know. I'm seeing one in my mind, but I can't remember exactly what it was. You remember? I think the MPs here remember, and we had taken it on and done it. So it would have been good to hear it in the Parliament. That's the point the Prime Minister is making. But on the strictly technical, the reason why I said the mayor was used here is because there could be many different types of oversight bodies. You can have an expert body on sustainability. You can have an expert body on economics. You can have an expert body on the law. You can have an expert body on... So do you want to have 5 different bodies that must be independent of the executive, meaning that they're not public servants or peoples on the cabinet? Okay, so the point is taken. The recommendation is taken, a little too late.
The idea of the special sustainability zones that would be facilitated under the legislative framework continues to generate a mix of public opinions about the SSZ. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
So sweet! The people of St. Kitts and Nevis have embraced Susan Best and her ministry from the very beginning. Now, 40 years later, she returns to celebrate resilience, a testimony of grace, a legacy of strength. Join Susan Best for a night of worship featuring the timeless songs you've loved through the years, along with new music that will inspire a fresh move of faith. On Friday, November 28th at 7 p.m. at the Antioch Baptist Church, Lime Kiln Commercial Development. Don't miss this unforgettable celebration of grace, growth, and resilience. Tickets are $40 EC. Also, be blessed by performances by Carmela Lawrence, Gospel Flames of Joy, New Generation of Nevis, and Blestina Charles of St. Kitts. Tickets are now on sale at Bestway, Buckley's close to Caribbean Cinema, First Choice in the Amory Mall, Kingdom Travel and Tours, Central Street, Hidden Treasures, Airport Road close to Kumar's Pink Trailer, Pharmacare on 4th Street, and in Nevis at Divinity Touch Gift Shop, Main Street, Charlestown. Get your tickets early and stay tuned to the radio or Susan Best's social media pages. Be blessed in this unforgettable celebration of grace, growth, and resilience. Everybody